Hi, I'm Lise Colucci. I'm one of the life coaches at queenbeing.com, where we help you to discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse in toxic relationships. And here come the dogs into the room. Thank you. Thank you. Close the door, please. Close the door, please. I'm working, love. I'm working. Thanks. Hello. Sorry about that. Okay, so today we're going to talk about when you're stuck and you need to make some movement in your life and make some change. All right. So if you have anything you need regarding narcissistic abuse recovery, head over to queenbeing.com. Lots of info over there. Check out the support groups. Hey, Karina. Check out the support groups and the information over at queenbeing.com for anything you need. Videos here, videos over with Angie, all of the good stuff. Okay. And if you are in need of coaching help or group coaching help, group coaching, again, we start coming in on March. So groups are starting up again. I have 2 groups going. Trauma On Group, which meets on Tuesdays. I don't like where my camera is at all. I can't look at it. Is it really obnoxious to move it? Probably. I'll just leave it today. I feel like I'm looming. All right. Anyway, group coaching is starting for March. The Trauma Bond Group is meeting on Tuesdays at 11 Pacific. And there's a messenger chat group with each of these. The other group meets Mondays. I don't know the times. I'd have to look. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And that is for when you are in recovery and it's pretty much moving forward with your life. So there's that going on. Otherwise, we're going to get started with feeling stuck. So I haven't been on in a few days because I've been feeling stuck. Seriously stuck. Like, hey, Saved by Grace and Karina, like, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to do here. I don't know. So yeah, I've been feeling stuck, but I really wanted to come here. I just didn't have what it takes, if that makes sense, to put it all together and talk for an hour. So we're going to do this while I'm stuck. In action. Let's unstick me. Hey, Katie. Yeah. Okay. So when you're feeling like it's like writer's block, right? Or it's like healer's block or whatever it is, like you feel like you get to a point. Oh, I didn't finish. Go back. I didn't finish. If you want texting notifications of my going live, the texting didn't work today. So I'm sorry that didn't get sent. We probably have less people here today, but that's the way it goes sometimes, technology and all. Anyway, text 33222, put the word Lise Live, LISE, as one word, hit send, and I will send you a texting notification prior to going live. Most of the time, unless it doesn't work like today. Otherwise, which it's stuck to, I guess. So here we go. Otherwise, is that it? That's it. Hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, all the good stuff, and let's talk. All right. So when you're stuck, you all know what I'm talking about, where you feel like you reached a point in your healing, or you feel like you're in a place in your life and you're like, why is there no movement? Nothing's changing. I feel totally stuck. Nothing is, starts tractor, hooks chain to Lisa's chair, hits throttle, and she's unstuck. Oh yeah. Going for the ride on the back of the John Deere. I don't know that I'd mind. All right. Anyway, stuck. We all get, I hear this literally on a weekly basis for sure, sometimes on a daily basis, where people say, I don't know what I need. I just feel stuck. I don't know what I need. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make change. I don't know. I don't even know what's wrong. I just feel stuck. All right. And that, I think, happens to a lot of survivors because we're sorry, guys. It just happens, right? It happens to everyone. It happens to everybody, I think. The feeling stuck feeling in your life. It's sort of like when there's no movement, when there's no change, when you're putting in a bunch of effort and you just don't see the results, or you want something to happen in your life. This is usually mine. Like you want something to happen in your life, but you don't know how to get there. And so you start doing things and you just feel stuck. That's me for years now. Yeah, it's hard to talk about feeling stuck because it's a sticky feeling, right? You're just stuck. You're stuck. So oh dear, now that's going on. That's okay. We'll just ignore the dinging. I've got too many windows open, too many things. All right. What do I have written down here? Let's go to my notes. Those usually help me a little bit. Getting to where you want to be when everything feels like you can't make any motion. What stuck is it feels like the problem, right? And that's the only thing that's visible when you're feeling that way. It'll be a fun ride, even though we'll hang on with both hands sometimes, and screaming is allowed. As long as laughing's allowed, I'm all right with it. All right. That's the tractor ride we're talking about. Okay. So I'm not really saying much here, am I? Because it's stuck. Not really stuck. I'm good. I just, working my way into this because it's a tricky topic. We all feel it, right? So I kind of want to go to the end. The reason I'm struggling here is there's all this stuff to say about it, which is like points on like how to get unstuck. But really what I want to say is for me, so what's happened is I've got a lot of good in my life and I've got a lot of struggles in my life, right? And so the two things don't go together. And I don't know how to make the struggles turn it also into good because it just feels stuck. All right. So, and then it's hard to talk about anything else because I'm preoccupied with like, noodling my own stuff out. Right. And then it translates to like things like this, like, oh, I can't go live. I don't know what to talk about today. All I'm doing is transferring my frustrations with other things onto that. And I know it. But the problem isn't that. That's not the problem. The problem isn't being stuck. The problem is I don't even know what it is that I'm doing that's making me stuck, right? It's something I'm doing. Life doesn't just, it doesn't just stall. It's going on. It's moving forward. Things are changing. The only thing that's not changing is a piece of me that needs to change. All right. There are, of course, reasons, medical reasons, physical, there's reasons, of course, that make it more difficult. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about it can be an internal change. It can be an attitude or a belief that needs to change in order for you to not feel stuck. Doesn't mean your situation's going to go from bad to good overnight. What it can mean, though, is a tiny, tiny shift can mean a huge amount of change over time. So what are we saying here? You have discovered it's okay and sometimes necessary to ask for help. That's where I'm going with this, Mo Cowboy. You always can read right ahead of me. That's awesome. Okay. Hey, Malta and Kira. Everyone, I hear a woof. Do you hear them? They're playing. So yes. As for me, it's fear of the unknown, fear of change. I dig myself deep in the mud. It's because you need your tractor, right? So we need a tractor. And what is that tractor? That tractor is questioning yourself. Okay. So I'm going to go straight to the end. Straight to the end here. And that is what I did to unstick and to get myself up and get on here today. All right. It is to ask for help. To ask for help, to figure out what it is. And what the way I ask for help is I ask people who know me well enough to know the way I function within the things that I'm stuck with and ask them what I'm doing that I could do differently. And I had to be open to the answer. Because we think we've tried it all. Especially if you're INFJ or anyone who is a J type that has a lot of insight, we think we see the big picture and we think we know it all. But the truth is we can't really see ourselves fully until we step back and look at it from different perspectives and different angles and let the emotions kind of chill out a little bit, because otherwise we just get stuck in the emotional response to something. I feel stuck too. I don't know what to buy online. I want to make bath bombs, but the large list of ingredients is overwhelming. So what I'm hearing there is overwhelm is your main problem. Okay. So the problem is the belief. I'm overwhelmed. This is what I'm trying to get to. So what I did is I asked myself questions. What am I doing to block myself? So what I've realized is I don't do enough sharing or self exposition here, so to speak. Like I don't talk about me as much as maybe I could, or like let people in so they kind of know who I am, right? I try, but I have this thing of like loving to talk about the problems that, like what other people are going through, because I feel like that's more important. But the truth is, it's the sharing that allows the flow and to not feel so sticky, right? So what is it that I'm not, what am I holding back? The dogs are crazy, you guys. It is like springtime out. Everyone's so happy. Anyway, see, I'll divert it onto them. Okay. So what I'm hearing with you is the overwhelm. But underneath that belief, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do it. I'm overwhelmed, therefore I can't. I need to. So what I discovered is I had to look at the belief. Well, I don't belong anywhere. I'm this outside person that comes in and like talks about stuff, but I stay on the outside, and you guys are a little group. You guys have each other, but I'm out here, right? And I'm out here and I'm with you, but I'm not part. You know what I'm saying? Like, me as the person isn't in there. That's my belief about myself. It's through my whole life. Okay. I do this everywhere. It's self-protection. Okay. It's not necessary anymore. I don't need the self-protection I needed when I was 3 years old. I don't need it. So it's time to let go of it. It's time to change that belief. And the only way to change that belief is to look at it and gain perspective about the belief. So if I feel like I'm overwhelmed, therefore I can't, why? A lot of us do things. Well, look at it as a bigger picture. Look at all the things you've accomplished when you've been overwhelmed. Look at the way other people handle overwhelm. Underneath that, there's something else. I had to question it. I don't belong. And the truth was, I don't ask for help. That's a truer statement than I don't belong. Of course I belong. I belong as much as anyone else has. We all have a right to belong, and we all belong, right? But we feel like we don't. Underneath it, I questioned and questioned and questioned, and I came to the realization I don't ask for help. I don't ask for help, and I don't ask for me. I don't ask for my needs. All right? Not that I need to do it here, but I'm just trying to give an example. So with the overwhelm, it could be similar. Like, why do you feel overwhelmed? Why aren't you breaking it down? Why is more information, more options worse than less options? How can you narrow it down, and how can you find what it is that's underneath the belief you have, and how can you question yourself so that you can come to the solution? And the solution for me was to be open to what people say, to be open to be able to ask questions about the situation and let the help come. All right. Okay. So what are you guys saying here? I felt stuck for a few months, but I know why and what I need to do. So I'm just going to keep moving forward. And Misty, that's what I'm saying is I thought I knew why. I thought it was just, I needed to work on belonging. It really wasn't. And I don't even think I need to ask for help as the end of the answer. I think that it's evolving. So if you keep asking the questions, more keeps being exposed to you. And if you follow that trail, there is actually motion. Things change. You have different conversations. You meet different people. You have different experiences. See what I'm saying? So it's when we think we know the answer, I think we end up getting ourselves deeper, like digging our heels in with that, knowing what to do. And knowing what to do can be also useful at the same time. So maybe it's a balance of knowing what to do, applying it, and continuing to ask the question of what's underneath this. All right. Sunny day. I feel I am moving slow in slow motion. Takes so long to get anything done. That's a different kind of stuck, but it's part of it, right? Like time and being able to. Okay, what are you saying, Shestina? I'm frozen, overwhelmed. I have no one to ask for help. I get it. You see, I am the same. I realized this because someone told me a story about this amazing help they got through a tough situation in their life. When they were alone, they had friends. And when they were alone, they had family that just swept in and gave little sprinklings of love and care. And this person, he said, I don't know how I don't know what I would have done if I had to do it the way you do it, which is alone. Right? And it made me really sad. I got really mad. I'm like, don't tell me that story. I don't want to hear it. I'm mad now. But really, I actually wasn't. I was really glad they had that because that's an amazing thing. And I thought, okay, if I get mad at that, I'm never going to welcome that into my life. I need to see what it is I want and be happy that that is available for people. Right. So it can feel that way. You have us, I know asking for help can mean different things though. Sometimes it can mean help me see. So what to do? I don't know. Well, and that's exactly it. What to do. And if you're trying to take on the whole mountain all at once and climb to the top, it's overwhelming, right? It's like, who was saying that? Like, it's too many options, too many problems, too many things, piece by piece. Sometimes is how you do it. You ask for help in one way where you start to feel differently about yourself. You ask for help in another way where, reaching out to community for whatever, like you look for resources. Maybe someone is really good at resourcing and you don't know because you haven't asked, within a group, even like this, like I need help resourcing these things. And maybe it's trying things you've already tried before that didn't work. And maybe they do work this time because sometimes it's timing. And maybe it's reaching out even though your pride don't let you. And maybe it's, so sometimes it's seeing where we block ourselves and sometimes it's trying again. Sometimes it's trying new strategies. And sometimes it's just a big mountain and all we can do is climb a mile, up that giant mountain. And that's all you can do today. Right. Okay. Angie mentioned doing a video on dog study, the shocked in a locked cage. When the door open, the dog can't leave, but it has to be drug out. Right. It's Stockholm syndrome, right? What you're talking about there, pretty much it's stuck in, like you could have a prisoner without any confines and they will stay. Okay. Can I join Angie on a live stream on the dog study? I so enjoyed you and Angie together. We hopefully will be doing that tomorrow, but not the dog study. We'll be doing something else, but I can ask her about that. I can certainly ask her. Learned helplessness. Yes. Okay. I haven't learned helplessness is kind of not what we're talking about here, but it is related, right? Okay. Analysis paralysis. I like that. Okay. I watched another INFJ YouTuber video this afternoon and she said, we don't ask for help. We don't ask for help because we see the big picture. We already know the answer. That's the thing. We already know everybody already knows the solution to their life. It's just buried. All right. We know what we need. We just can't get there sometimes because it's buried under our psychology, under our pain, under our abuse, under all the layers of our ego that we have built up to protect ourselves, under triggers. So that's why we heal these things, to free our lives and to evolve to be what we want to have and be what we want for our lives. Okay. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll be here. Okay. What are we saying here? So it's a normal response. And yes, we need assistance to get out of the cage unstuck. We do. We need one another. We need help sometimes. Sometimes, that's just my example. There could be a million reasons why someone's stuck, right? It could be that they ask for help too much and they don't try something on their own, right? It could be all kinds of things. That's just my little example because that is what came up and so here's what I did. This might be more useful. What I did is I reached out to the few resources I do have. I don't have a lot either. I have built a life where I take care of myself, all right? Emotionally in particular. Even in my own therapist, we talked about this. She just laughed at me. She's like, you're just now figuring this out? That you don't ask for help? How long like Lise, you pretty much went through the discard without a tear with me, like we analyzed. That's all we do is analyze. We don't get to them, so us INFJs, man, we just want to talk our way through the emotions and yeah, it's true. We don't ask for help. My stuck is about 5 things. I know what they are. Ugh. Okay. And why can't you? Okay. So the big reason of why we're stuck is why can't we make movement? Why can't we if we know what it is, why can't we make the change? Like Misty and Gwen, since you say you know what's going on, what is it that's sticking that stuck? Right? What is it that's making you sticky stuck, where you're stuck on the stuck and not letting you make the change? Like right now, what's doing it? Because honestly, I changed myself around in 2 hours. I was a different girl 2 hours ago. All right. I ask for help and people don't show or follow through, so I quit asking. Sunny day, and I get it. We can only rely on ourselves, right? Wrong. We just ask someone else. Maybe we're asking the wrong, it's fear. Okay. And what's under that fear? What's that fear saying? Right? Keep questioning. My thing is always question why. Why am I afraid? What am I afraid of? What is so scary? Why am I clinging to fear instead of clinging to freedom? And it's still hard for me to ask for help. It's very hard to ask for help, especially when you have situations where that help is not met. Sometimes we have to take the piece of help that we do get and go with it. Sometimes we have to realize we're asking for help in the wrong place. Sometimes it's the people that we have attracted into our life because we're so used to not asking for help. We've got a bunch of unhelpful people around us, right? You're not going to attract and maintain friendships with people who are very helpful if you're not a person that's ever needed help. Why would you? Why would they suddenly be like, oh, I've been waiting forever for you to ask me for something? They're not. They're used to you helping them. So sometimes we don't have help because we've built a life. That's just the life we've built. And we have to then find help in other places. So I do have a couple places that I asked. Like I said, I asked a group of people that know me well enough to know what it is I'm doing to myself and let me go through it without telling me what to do. That was useful. Thank you guys. And and then I talked, of course, to Angie, who told me exactly what I would tell someone else, which was awesome. And she told me exactly what I already know, but it was just hearing it, back to me like, okay, you do the same things I do to feel better. Oh, well, maybe I should just go do them right now. It was inspiring. Let's put it that way. It was an inspiration to pick myself up, throw myself out the door and go take a walk. So for me, and this isn't going to work for everyone, when I'm feeling stuck where I know the answer, but can't make a move, right? I know what I need to do, but I can't get there, right? It really feels like can't. Of course I can, but it feels like I can't. Taking a walk helped a ton. Taking a walk and thinking and being quiet, actually with music on. So thinking with music on, I know it sounds whatever, but the proper music for the proper mood. So I sat and fished for music that worked for me, got the music going. Singing actually helped a lot. I got to get out of my head. I had to get into my body. I had to get moving. Motion creates motion, right? If we're moving, when I'm moving and I'm thinking, I'm actually processing completely differently than when I'm sitting still. I had to get out of this environment. I work at home, right? I had to get out of here and get out of my head and get into nature and move. It helped a ton. What I noticed, and I thought, okay, people are going to say, so what? Take a walk, whatever. I took a walk. It didn't help. I was enjoying myself. I started taking pictures for people of the cherry blossoms and the trees and the moss. I like to do photography. It was just iPhone photography, but whatever. I took pretty photos of flowers and sent them to people. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying myself while I'm thinking about this issue, while I'm taking a walk, while I'm listening to music. As I'm enjoying myself, I felt more inspired and I felt way less stuck. And I'm like, all right, I can totally go live today. Who cares? I'll just do it. Right? I don't even need a topic. I can just come on here and ramble about being stuck. Okay. And that maybe is helpful to someone else and maybe isn't, but at least we're doing it. We're making motion and we're going forward instead of sitting here going, no, not today. Okay. Creativity, journaling, writing it out. For some people, they don't need to think, they need to write. For some people, it's drawing or art or sketching or painting, something to express it. Whatever it is, make motion, do something different. Okay, and then I'm going to go through a list of just general ideas for what to do when you feel stuck. Okay, we have to be our own hero. We do have to be our own hero, but we also have to, if I hadn't reached out to people, I'd be here. It'd be a different feeling in me. I don't feel so stuck now. I just feel kind of like I'm rambling, but that's okay. It's all right. I went for a walk too. It really helps for processing feelings and thoughts. It really does. It does. You got to kind of get used to it. I think for some people, you kind of got to get used to it and trust that it's going to change things. But it does. It's really useful. I can stand in front of the mirror and apply all my compassion and willingness to help to the person in the mirror. You can do that too. Sometimes, though, we aren't enough on our. I mean, I really think that reaching out to other people. It is why I offer group coaching across the board, so that there is other people to bounce ideas off of, because we get so in our own heads with this stuff, right? We get so isolated and alone with our healing that healing becomes our life instead of the exchange and the connection with other people. So that is why I offer it. And that is why I have it as I do, where there is the ability to check in daily with others and myself. All right. Let's see. Sometimes we need a new set of friends, and also this is what's for tea. Hi. Also be our own best friend, right? It's true. And sometimes the help can come from interesting places. It's if you're open to help, this is the thing. It's not about my having someone or not having someone or not having a big giant group of friends I can rely on. It's about the fact that I am not open to help. I can do it myself. I don't need anyone. I don't need no one. No. Right? It's adamant self-reliance and emotionally that is blocking me from allowing help and allowing the help that can come without asking. Sometimes just being open to help. I had an experience of being like really, really with some really amazing stuff going on in my life and like beautiful things happening, feeling like the good stuff in my life that's happening is either going to crumble, the other shoe is going to drop. I'm going to find out something that's like going to change it, and it's going to be bad. I'm going to, you know how it is when you're a survivor. The good is painful. Good things in your life that happen, you don't trust it, and you don't. We don't just embrace the joy and the beauty, and the other person involved's like super happy, and I'm like, why can't I just be happy? Why can't I, and frustrated. But I was open to the question of why is this going on? I don't need to be so self-guarded and so self-protective that I cannot enjoy this moment. Okay. And several times that day, situations came up where people would say something randomly out of the blue in public, just like a clerk at the grocery store told me this story. And then she looked at me and she said, Lise, whatever is going on in your life, just remember to love the people who love you. If someone is giving and kind to you, just accept it. And she had no reason or knew nothing about what was going on in my life. She just said it. If I was not open to help, I'd have been like, yeah, that's great. How cute, but because it was exactly what I needed. So sometimes the help comes just out of nowhere and without asking. The asking is in the being open. Okay. So, getting out of stuck is easier with baby steps. Getting out of stuck, I think, is essential with baby steps. Unless you are a high adrenaline jump out of airplanes person, I think baby steps, especially when we're cautious with our emotional life, is essential. Okay, it does take time to learn to trust, but what I've learned more is that if I'm open, the help is there. It's when I'm closed and say I can do this on myself that I can't even see what help is there. All right. Okay, what do I say in here? Getting out for a walk in nature in daylight grounds and energizes me and helps clear my thoughts. I take photos too. It does, right? And yeah, okay. So I have a question, but it's hard to ask without getting deep into the past, which I do not want to do. Okay. Why don't you ask it? And if I need more info, I'll let you know. Or yeah, do whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay. That's to shred squad. Okay. All right, so let's go on. Let's talk about feeling stuck and ways to make change so that you can unstick. What did I say here? Oh, okay. So when you're stuck, one thing to remember is that it is a sign that it's time to make change. So asking yourself, I put get ready for discomfort. I'm laughing at my own humor. It's not really funny, but it's true. Hey, Ruby, you don't need to bark at whatever that is. You really don't. Come here. Come here. I can see your face. Come here, you. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come up. Oh, she can't do it. There she is. All right. It's time to make change when you're feeling stuck. And you say, yeah, but how? How's a question? How isn't the question that's going to get you there? It's what needs change. I know. What needs change? What am I afraid of with change? If there was a change, then what? Why am I clinging? Was it Gwen said that fear has her stuck? Why are you clinging to fear? And what in the change are you afraid of? I don't even mean practically. I mean, for me, when I think of change, I think of the unknown. I'm afraid of the unknown. Why am I afraid of it? Because sometimes like the known bad feels like a safe place. I know how to handle it. It's, do I have the skills? I come up against my own self-doubt, right? I come up against all kinds of questions. And I don't know, for you, it might be different, but what is it about the change that's terrifying or that's uncomfortable? Maybe change isn't uncomfortable. Maybe you really like change, but why aren't you doing it? Right. So then there's these questions so question the change itself. All right. So you didn't ask for advice or help, Lise, but you also took action on the advice and it helped. What I asked for, I realized that I I wasn't enjoying the good as I could be, and that it was triggering all kinds of, okay, basically, this is the imagery I had, it felt like there's this door that opened, all right? And this door is an opportunity, and there's good and beautiful, wonderful things in this door, okay? But when that door opened, a whole lot of light came in. And when it opened, it shone all this light on these shadow doors, and I kept opening them. And it was like one trigger after another was in the other doors. And I wanted to go down the path of each and every trigger and look at it and believe it, instead of looking at the door that was wide open and is perfectly fine. All right. So I asked myself, why am I doing this? Why am I not allowing happiness? Because I know how to handle the other stuff. I don't know how to handle happiness. I mean, truthfully, that's that. And so I was asking questions. And I told a few people. So I did ask for help in that sense. I told people that I'm close to, this is going on. This is weird, and then I did ask for help in the sense of like, they didn't know how to help me, but they listened. So does that make sense? Sometimes it's saying it out loud. That's why I ask questions here. Hopefully it gives you, whoever it reaches, a chance to question yourself so that you can have the chance to have those opening experiences where you become open to your own life. All right. I meant you didn't just ask and then not do anything. Exactly. I didn't just, I'm never not doing anything. I think what it was it changed it from feeling like I already know the answer to I don't know. And when I'm in the state of I don't know, I'm curious. And when I'm curious, then I'm looking and I'm open to what's around me. That's how I find joy every day. That's why I say go seek it. It's not just going to come. Most of the time you can have something. You don't know how many people I'll be hanging out with and I'll be like, oh my gosh, look at that thing, whatever it is. Like last night. Okay, last night Venus was here and the moon was under. And it was like this perfectly arced. It was at a funny little angle. So pretty. And it was right over the city. And nobody's looking. Right? And so we have to seek it. And then I think, and maybe that's not your thing. Maybe something else is your thing. Right. But a lot of people don't, I mean, if I'm not in that state, if I'm totally locked in my own negativity, if I'm locked in the things that are going wrong in my own emotions, I miss it too. So I've taught myself to seek it. And so I'm always active in that way. And I think it opened that up, if that makes sense. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go to your question here. I come from a violent past. The narcs beat it into me daily. Last couple of years, I tried tapping into that soft side of my heart, and empathy seems to fit. I was with a narc for 17 years through a twisted line of circumstances, and I ended up with a new narcissist. Okay. Got the background. So what? I'm waiting for the question now. All right. I'm going to keep talking until the question. But I've come to realize that I'm with these people because I deserve it. Oh, is that true? I would question that belief. You've come to believe. I would restate that. I've come to believe, because realize means that you can actually see tangible proof of why, and it's provable, and people would agree. You know, you saw that moon, Jack. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm going to keep talking. I'm not ignoring your question. I'm just waiting for the question, if there's more, to pop up. When you are stuck and when you're trying to make change of any kind, somebody said it, was it Gwen? Baby steps. The tiny step is progress. A teeny tiny step is progress. We tend to not see it or not want to acknowledge it, but the teeny tiny steps, those are progress. Okay. They are something different. If you think about it, if you're walking down a trail, the trail is a straight line, and you go and you veer, I don't know, that much off the straight line. Eventually you get farther and farther, right? And you're not on the same trail. So a tiny step takes you down a different path. And that's the hope, right, of change, is that you change one little thing and one little thing and one little thing and start nudging yourself toward the life that you want. All right. Surrounded by narcissism since 1962. That sounds like the title of a book with a horrible story, right? And it is, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. That's a long time. 1963. Yeah, it's so. Yeah. Okay. So change. Baby steps to the elevator, Bob. Okay. All right. A lot of times we don't know where to start. How do I make change? I don't know where to start. I know what I need to do, but I don't even know where to begin. It's overwhelming to have that many choices online. I don't even know which one to pick. I don't know where to start. It's not really necessary to know how or why to start. You just need to start. Sometimes it's making a mistake, being okay with a mistake. Sometimes we don't want to begin to get unstuck because we're afraid of failure. We're afraid of making the wrong move, or we haven't regained our sense of agency after abuse. We haven't, but this is how you gain it. You make the mistakes. Okay. Is there such a thing as PTSD from narcissistic abuse? Yes. See how quickly I answered that? Yes. In your case with that long term, they would probably say complex PTSD. Complex PTSD comes from repeated events. PTSD is generally from one or a few events. So repeated events. There are some good books on CPTSD that you could look up. I don't have titles here. Someone will type them in there eventually today. Yes, and yes. Mm-hmm. Does that make me a narcissist? No. It makes you a survivor of narcissistic abuse. I don't know you, so and I'm not one who, I can't diagnose anyone anyway. So no, it doesn't make someone a narcissist to have CPTSD. It makes someone a person who has had trauma in their life, and you know your level of empathy, your level of, if you've have empathy, if you have concern for other people, if you are able to handle um, emotional situations where you are listening and fair to other people and you're able to be accountable to your own emotions, you're probably not a narcissist. Okay. I've already told myself one foot in front of the other for years. I've literally told myself one foot in front of the others for years. Yeah. And I think sometimes, yeah. I'm not even going to go there. Okay. All right. Things only change when change happens. That's what I have written down here. Right? No, but really, things only change when change happens. Things can only change if change happens. That means you got to change something, anything. Even if you never wear yellow, wear yellow. I don't care. It doesn't even have to be related. Start making changes. Take a different route home. Make some change in your life. Shake it up a little. That's a way to unstick. It certainly will give you a more, I was going to say colorful day because I talked about wearing yellow. Anyway, yeah, change doesn't change unless change happens. That's the only way. You have to do something different. Look at the ways people who do things people who have lives or experiences in their life. That's it. I keep forgetting that fear of failure. It's the perfectionist that has been grilled in a lot of our heads from the abuse from childhood, right? That we have to be perfect and that if we make a mistake, it's the end of the world. When in truth, mistakes are what makes things beautiful and mistakes are what makes things innovative and mistakes are what allows change to happen. Okay, perfection is an endless stream of the same over and over again, right? Change comes a lot of times from stepping through things and making mistakes. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. What else? Okay. Here's another one that is a lot of people fear, or a lot of people feel that the beginning change. Getting unstuck means change, right? Getting unstuck means your life flowing in a different direction. It means things not being as they are. So there's change involved. That new beginning means an ending to something else. It means ending life as you know it. This is the big one for me. And this is actually just now hitting me that that's exactly what I do when I don't allow the good in, right? I don't allow the good to be, I should be beaming right now, you guys. And I'm like, but okay. So beginning marks the ending of something else. And sometimes for some of us, that's really hard to allow. It means letting go of what you think you know to have a new beginning. Okay. And you fear success because you need to dim down and not outshine anyone. That's true too. Don't we need to dim down? I think that's what, oh my gosh. Thank you, you and I. That's another one, the dimming down of our own light. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay, good. You're getting lots of help there with your question about am I a narc? And also, Shred Squad, am I the narcissist is a common question people ask. So you're not alone in having that question. And it was very brave of you to ask it. Okay. And you're getting lots of help there, I see. So I'm going to, if you have other questions about it, or if it's not being answered, keep going. I will happily keep talking. That is why we need change, healing from the issues. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. So yeah, beginnings mark an ending of something else. And it means letting go of the stuff you think you know in order to have something new. All right. To being open and being curious. This year for me, I mean, I don't know. What was you guys' New Year intention? Mine was curiosity, and this is where it's leading. Okay. All right. Okay. Important one. In order to make yourself, or in order to create motion instead of stuck, you got to clear the negativity. Negativity holds you down. It's a weight. All right. It weighs you down. Hi, Violet. It weighs you down and it holds you in place. It makes you believe things about yourself like you deserved the abuse. You deserve these people in your life. You deserve this. It makes you believe the negativity. You don't deserve the life you want to live. You're alone. No one will be around you, blah, blah, blah. It makes you feel, it holds you there, whatever your negativity is. So we got to let go of the negativity. You got to clear it. I've done a lot of videos on that, but really restating the negative beliefs immediately when you see them or hear them, to something at least not limiting to yourself. It doesn't have to be super glowing and positive until you're ready to make that shift, but definitely something that isn't holding you down. Redirecting your thoughts. If all you can think about is negative, go find joy. Find 3 things every day. Find it. Gratitude lists, gratitude journals, include yourself, 3 things you love about yourself, 10 things you're grateful for every single day. This is ways of clearing negativity. And there's a reason we're constantly saying it over and over again, because it actually does change your life to have a different mindset. It may not change the situation you're in, but it will change the way you feel about your life. Does that make sense? Okay. Sometimes our situations are very difficult. There's a lot of people that I know, I wish I could, sprinkle something and make it better, but I can't. But what we can do is feel more joy in our life and have a different experience of the life that we are living, and hopefully begin to evolve that into something better for ourselves. Okay. So great insight. New beginnings means losing the ending, life as we know it. Yep. Embrace that new beginning. Trying. Okay. So I get hooked up with these abusive people because it's what I'm used to, I guess. Exactly. It's what you've known, Shred Squad. So why would you think there would be different? And now that you know there's different, and now that you know it's not okay, it still doesn't mean you're going to just not like suddenly be like, fine, they're all gone. You're trauma bonded. There's lots of videos on here about trauma bonding. There's our belief in ourself. There's the programming that they've over years and years and years, have created in you that make you believe what you believe about yourself. So, and it's all right now. But, and you're used to it. You're used to it, and your tolerance gets really high. You know how to handle it. Sort of like if you do a sport and you do that sport over and over again, you know how to not get hit in the head with a ball. You know how to like, your reflexes are there to catch the ball. Whereas if you stuck me in the, wouldn't be good. But you know how to play the game, right? You know how to do the dance, whatever you want to call it, with those people. And that is what you know. And so, yes, it takes healing. It takes lowering your tolerance for negative behavior and for being treated poorly, and raising your self-esteem, so that you realize that you, trauma bonding. Yes, there are videos on here. It's long. So basically you become addicted to the abuse because, it's so long. Go watch the videos on trauma bonding. I only have a few minutes here left. So, and I don't want to leave you without it, but they're all on here. If you just go through the channel, you'll find at least 3 or 4 fairly recently about trauma bonding, and they're long like this one. So you'll have a lot of info by the time you're done. So yeah, a lot of research on what happens to survivors. You can go through this channel over at Angie's as well. Lots of info on this stuff. So yes, look up trauma bonding. Look up cognitive dissonance. That's another one for you to look up. And then come back tomorrow. And I think we're going to come on in the morning and keep asking questions. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm glad they helped so much. Sunny day. That makes me happy. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. What are we saying here? Chris, negativity is part of the narcissist issues. They want us to be as negative as they are. Redirect thoughts toward positives. Absolutely. That's 100%, right? I think It's not just narcissists though, right? We live in a society that negativity is kind of normal. It's tricky to be positive. And I don't even mean you have to like not see the bad. I see both the good and the bad. That's what I've fought my whole life, is seeing the big picture and not falling into believing the negative is all there is. That's why I'm on this kick of find the joy, because I get it. I get that, but it's right there. I can't ignore the negative. It's right in front of me, right? But it's not the only thing. So it's finding balance to me anyway. All right. Okay. It's weird how they covertly put you down and then you dismiss it because you know it's not true. But then all the things they said come rushing back in the end and you didn't even know the damage they did. Isn't it? Right. It's because we're used to it and we know how to deflect it, and we're going into defense mode and we're going into self-protection mode. We're dissociating, we're detaching, all the stuff. And then there's the cognitive dissonance that comes in and we go, that wasn't so bad, until we step away and it floods you with how bad it really was. So getting rid of that, clearing the negativity. It doesn't mean you're not going to have negativity. It means learning ways to clear it, learning ways to clear your own, however negativity befalls you, right? It's going to be different for everyone. And okay. Okay. So I'm going to go back to have 3 more things before we're done here. Stop overthinking. If you're trying to make change, overthinking is it's the overwhelm. I think the word over might be the clue. Anything that's overdone, overwhelm, overthinking. You don't need to know if you're going to succeed in order to take a step. Babies don't think about it. They don't sit there when they're learning to walk. Be like, I think if I put my right foot forward first this time, I won't fall down on my behind. I think no, wait a minute. Last time I tried my right foot, I did fall down. So maybe I should try my left foot. What if I stand here for a while and stare at the floor? Maybe that would work. They don't do that. They just kind of go. All right. So of course we need to consider and to use our minds, but overthinking is a stall down and it's not going to get you where you want to go. So knock it off. And I think I did a whole video on overthinking too at one point. If not, maybe we should. All right. Other people can fight our changing too. It can rock the boat or shift family dynamics. And even people who actually do care for us, oh, absolutely, it shakes everything up. It's difficult to have people in your life that appreciate change in you. Really difficult to attract that, to have it. It's not super common. Okay. It's okay. You just be gentle with the people that are there, that are kind and good and meant to be in your life. You just be gentle. Like when you're setting boundaries with someone, setting boundaries with people, it goes across the board. This is my boundary. I no longer will do something without questioning and asking myself, is this something I want to do? So that means that everyone's going to get a no once in a while, even the people I would never say no to before. And when they're not used to the no, it's going to throw them. So there are people you can say, hey, I'm working on some boundaries. I need to be able to do this without, some things I'm going to have to say no to because they don't work for me at that time or on that day, or they just don't work, And so sometimes it's being gentler with those people, and the people who fight the change and they're not meant to be in your life, they can just go, right? It's the way it is. We lose people and we gain others. All right. Yes, exactly, Chris. Yeah, trauma bonding. Like I said, go find maybe after this if you have time, because there's one, it wasn't too long ago on this channel. All right. What are we saying here? Getting in motion and working to keep in motion fearless. Thanks. And you're welcome. Okay. Here's another one so all this talk about motion, all this talk about make the change happen, just do it, go ahead and make a mistake. You got to relax and let it unfold. So sometimes it goes along with the overthinking. Sometimes we're like, okay, I know what I want to do. I'm going to do it. And you start putting plans in place and you're like, okay, why isn't it changing? Why isn't it happening? What's going on? Why isn't it happening? And then you're not relaxing and letting it unfold. You're trying to force it. And that isn't actually unsticking. That's actually sticking yourself and in a state of anxiety over it. So in order to relax and let things unfold, I do exactly what I did today. I meditate, I take walks, I listen to music, I sing, I dance, I do things I enjoy. And I try to find humor. Humor is big for me, obviously. And and let things unfold. And I even tell myself, let it be, Lise, let it go all the time. So once you set something in motion, sometimes we then have to back off of it. All right. And that's part of unsticking. It's playing with it like you would drive a car, like you would do anything. If you do it all full force, you're not necessarily unsticking. You're just locking yourself in the next position. So it's playing with it back and forth. Okay. Oh, I already said this, but I'm gonna end with it anyway. Seek joy. That's part of the letting go of negativity, but it's also replacing it with something. All right. That's all I got for unsticking today. And I feel unstuck. So there we go. So hopefully I'll be here with Angie tomorrow if it works out. If not, then I will be here myself and we'll talk about something. If you guys have topics that you'd like, let me know and I will try to get to them. I'm working on one about narcissistic fleas and narcissistic fleas versus healthy coping. If you guys feel like you have fleas of any kind, narcissistic fleas being traits and behaviors that we pick up from narcissistic abuse that then we start to do ourselves. Can you give me a list of them? I get stuck with those. And then I can talk about ways for healthy coping versus what we're already doing. All right. And then it'll be more personal. I have other things in here that people have suggested. I'm in the wrong book. That's not going to help me, is it? All right. Okay, good. I'm also trying to make short videos and pop them up here randomly. So look out for those. I may do one right now. I don't know. Just talked for an hour. I'm not sure I'm going to do it. We'll see. Okay. Fleas. Okay. It's true. Then we got to get to the work of ripping those rotten roses out and tilling the soil to grow new, beautiful gardens. That's right. What did you say here? The numbness sets in and the rotten stench fills our lives. The inability to smell anything to avoid the stench result. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody have any questions or anything that they need help with before we head out of here? You know what's interesting is attachment too. Sorry, that's totally off topic. Not going to go there. All right. Just something reminded me of it. Any support groups for this? Or is that what this is? Yes, I have group coaching available. It is, well, first of all, there's free. There's Spanily on Facebook. What is it? Queen Being Spanily Official, I think is what it's called on Facebook. You can look on Queen Being. It'll link you. Queenbeing.com. There's links for peer support group. That's a larger support group that is free, that is Facebook, or there is a paid one that is on, you can find it on Queen Being as well. It's on Mighty Networks, hosts it. That's us as well. And then there is a group coaching, which is a paid group because there is coaching as well. So it's with me and it's direct, personalized coaching in a small group setting. So there's about 10 people in there, I want to say right now. There's a trauma bond group, though, if you're still in the beginning of figuring this out, that might be better. And that meets on Tuesdays at 11:30 Pacific right now. We meet on a Zoom chat. So we actually talk face to face, or you can turn your camera off and just talk voice, but it's voice to voice minimally. So it's actually talking to you personally. I sit and talk. And that is on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock. I say 11:30. Oh gosh, my head. I think it's 11. And I can add a second time if there's enough people in there and enough requests for a different time. Right now that's a smaller group. There's a few people and it starts every month. So it's a monthly thing. It's $60 per month. So it's about 15 a week. It is 15 a week. And it's confidential. Yes, it is just me and whoever's in the group. Confidential, meaning there are other people in the group. So that is the group. What am I trying to say? That's group coaching. So whoever's in there, it is between us and we keep it confidential. If you need the paid for a group, that is, yes, that is, it's just us. Whoever's in the group it's between us. And I don't share here what's talked about unless somebody says, oh, talk about that, in a live stream. Okay. And we don't, it's confidential. And if you need private coaching, there is a link down below for one-on-one coaching. So there's that too. And there's a link to the group in the down below in the main description of every video. Okay, I think I answered that. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. And if you like this, hit thumbs up and get yourself unstuck little bit by little bit, right? And here's the thing with being stuck, though. It comes back. It's all right. It's part of life. Everyone feels it. Okay? We have to remember that a lot of this stuff we feel really overwhelmed by is kind of normal to have happen in life. Sometimes we get a more extreme version of it sometimes because of the CPTSD and the trauma that we've experienced and the memories and the triggers. However, it's okay. If it comes back, it comes back. Just start over with getting unstuck. All right. Start where you're at. Okay. I think that's it. Any other questions or anything anyone needs before we head out? Let me know. Again, if there's when I get billed, what will it come out as? I'm not going to say here what it comes out as. It does not say what it is. It says something else. You can email me at coachlisec, COACHLISEC @gmail.com, and I can give you more information. I don't want to say it here because obviously, right? Okay. More thumbs up, says Mo Cowboy. We need the thumbs. Hit the thumbs. You're welcome, Kira. And hello. Okay. All right, you guys. I think that's it for now. I think that's it for now. You guys take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for helping me unstick. Bye. Oh, Robin, that's okay. You know what? My text notification didn't work. That's why. And I knew it would be smaller today because of that. My text notification didn't work. It wouldn't send. So I kind of just had to go. Sorry. Figuring it out. I've already got word in, so we'll figure it out. Okay. Anyway, it's about getting unstuck. So maybe watch it later. Okay. Thank you guys. See ya. Now I got to do this. Around. Oh, if I move this one, I don't have to do that. There it is. I have my camera in a dumb spot. It's not in the best location. Tomorrow I'll do it better. Okay. Bye.